Hey everyone, today I'm going to discuss the meaning of the PQRST complex. So first of all, if you like learning about ECG, please subscribe to my channel. So as you can see in this image, this is a normal PQRST complex, and this is the representation of the normal cardiac cycle. The normal PQRST complex starts at the P wave, which starts at the SA node, and later it travels to the AV node, and then to the His bundle, and finally to the Purkinje fibers, and this will complete the normal cardiac cycle. But the way that this occurs is by the action potential. This is what leads to the firing of the electrical conduction, and the action potential is composed of two events. One is called the depolarization and the other one is repolarization. So if we see the normal cardiac cell, you can see that the interior of the cell is mostly negative and in the outside is positive. When depolarization occurs, there's a electrical stimuli that reaches the cell and makes the cell to change its charges. So instead of being negative, it becomes more positive. So at the end of depolarization, you get a cell that is more positive inside with the negative charges, and this travels along all the myocytes of the heart, or all the cells of the heart, which lead to contraction. So when you have repolarization, the reverse occurs, and this is the cell will regain again its negative charges. So at the end of the repolarization, you will have all negative charge inside the cell and the positive charges will be outside. So now we move on to the P wave, which is the first wave that you can see at the start of the PQRST complex. And what does the P wave represent? Well, the P wave represents the atrial depolarization, and this is the part where the atrium contracts at the leg diastole, and you can see it inscribed by the P wave. So when the P wave occurs, is because there's a firing from the SA node into the AV node, and when you have this firing in the electrocardiogram, you will see the P wave. Okay, so if you're gonna see the P wave, there are two important leads that you have to be aware of. The first one is that lead 2, where you're gonna see a positive P wave with the two components of both the right atrium and left atrial component. And the other lead that you have to look for is the lead V1, where you have a biphasic P wave with the right and left atrial component. So this is very important to you to remember, so to know if that P wave is in the normal size. So now we move on to the QRS complex, and this is basically the representation of the ventricular depolarization. This is what leads to the ventricle to contract and eject blood from the ventricles. So as you can see here, there are three important waves, the Q, the R, and the S, and this is what composes the QRS complex. So when the AV node fires to the His bundle and later to the Purkinje fibers, this leads to the formation of the QRS complex. So now we move to the last wave, and this would be the T wave. The T wave is the first wave after the QRS complex and represents the ventricular repolarization. So this wave is very important because it provides information about electrolyte disturbances, ischemia, and also if there's a prolongation of the QT segment. It is important to know that the T wave has different configurations. It might be upright in leads 1, 2, V3 to V6, inverted in AVR, and upright or inverted in AVF, AVL, lead 3, V1, and V2. So we reached the end of this video. I hope it has helped you to understand more about the PQRST complex. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. Don't forget to give your feedback to make the channel better. And also you can go to my page to the prsegment.com, where I have a blog that discusses the PQRST complex in more detail. Thank you.